Philip, can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. I think I'm having technical issues. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Oh, you muted
Oh,
me.
sorry. I think that's my fault.
Yeah, no
I also have
problem.
John on the line. I think I'll have two other persons coming to join us. Hopefully, um,
Okay.
today we'll be looking at Nigeria, Egypt, Sudan, and Guinea-Bissau. We'll reviewing that group and we'll see how well Nigeria will go. Also, to most of us expect them to go to the finals. Most of us Nigerians expect Nigeria to be in the finals at the end of the day. Most of us don't expect us to go beyond the quarterfinals. Most of us also don't expect us to even um, reach the round of 16 because of the our current predicament as a country when it comes to football. Um, to you, Chichi, um, can you please tell us what are your expectations when it comes to the Super Eagles? I don't want us to look at the group first of all. We'll go back to the group. But what are your expectations when it comes to the Nigerian Super Eagles going to this tournament, looking at or in view of the problems that they've had prior to this tournament?
All right. Prior to this tournament, we all know that they've had a very bad preparation, considering the fact that we just let our coach off just few minutes to or few days to the tournament itself. The hopes I have for Super Eagles is we actually want is actually forward ever, right? So last season, last tournament, we were at the semi-finals. So I think for this particular tournament, I hope we should be able to get to the final. So that's my wish for them.
Okay, I also have Khalid Oshoki on the line as well. Khalid, good to see you and good morning.
Good morning. I'm so sorry I came in late. My show just finished on EIT, so I'm
Oh,
really
that's
sorry
true.
for coming in late.
Okay, no problem, Khalid Oshoki. Okay, back to you. Okay, to you, John. What are also your expectations of the Nigerian Super Eagles going to this tournament as well? Hello, John.
I check.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Learn how to use that.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
What is you guys do? AIT, you go down negotiate
I can't
guests.
hear. I can't hear you, John. Okay, can you, Khalid? Can you kindly mute? Okay, let me mute Khalid from here. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, John. Okay, we can't hear you, John. Please, sorry. Back to you, Khalid.
Yes.
Okay, we are looking at D, but first of all, we want to look at as a team. Um, Prior to this tournament, they've had issues. They sacked their manager, hired another one, also had an interim manager as well. What are your expectations of this Super Eagles team coming to this tournament? Will they do well, and how far do you think they will go?
So I see the Super Eagles making it as far as the quarterfinals because this is a footballing nation. We have to consider our football heritage too. However, when you consider what has happened before the start of the tournament, from the sacking of Gunnar just a month to the tournament, to them hiring Austin Eguavo as interim manager just a month to the tournament, to them even hiring a permanent manager before the tournament started, these are things that will have psychological effects on the players. Now, there are so many players there who will not want to impress Austin Egbabon because they know that regardless of the outcome of the Nations Cup, he's not going to be the manager moving forward. A lot of them will be playing to the gallery. A lot of them will want to impress Jose Pesero, who is the new manager of the team. So these are some factors that we have to consider. Another thing, two departments that everybody should be worried about, the goal scoring department, which is the position of striker. Victor Osimhen is not going to be there. Odio Igalo is not going to be there, even though I think a lot of Nigerians should be worried that if Odio Igalo was available, the NFF would have, or rather the coach would have probably selected him as the number one striker. We all know that Audio Igalo is no longer in the form of his life. Yes, people keep talking about 2019 and how he propelled the Super Eagles to a third place finish, but 2019 was a long time ago. That striker that scored the 5 goals to become the highest goal scorer in the tournament, sorry, excuse me, is not the striker that we have today. So now with those two people out of the picture, there was a certain Emmanuel Dennis that a lot of people thought would be able to fill the shoes of Victor Osimhen. Administrative issues prevented him from representing Nigeria. So now the big question is, who is going to get the goals for the Super Eagles? I do not trust Kelechi Iheanacho because his antecedents prove that he's unable to get the goals for us. A certain Taiwan Awoyiniyi is doing good things in the Bundesliga, but can he deliver? He has not been given enough time. He has not been given enough opportunities to prove himself as a striker for the Super Eagles. The Henry Onyekuru that they brought in to replace Victor Osimhen is also not in the form of his life. He's not been amazing so far for his club, and we've not even seen him perform well for the Super Eagles in the first place, even when he was playing good football for his club. So that is one department that a lot of Nigerians should be worried about. During the last press conference the Super Eagles had before they departed for Cameroon, I asked Costa Nguavon this question, and he said that they might even try to employ a false nine. Even if they were to employ a false nine, the number one person I think that will suit that role, who's also capable of getting goals, is a certain Ahmed Musa. And we all know that Ahmed Musa is also not the player that he once was. The goalkeeping department again is another cause for concern. I don't know who our number one is going to be. People are saying it's going to be Francis Rizor. Other people are saying it's going to be Maduka Okoye. Of these
Go ahead,
people,
please.
it will inspire confidence in the defense. These are the questions that we need to ask before AFCON starts.
Does Osino is on the show?
Okay,
Yes, he does.
OC's
What's the
also let me
biting?
down there. OC, is that your breakfast this morning? OC, is that your breakfast this morning? Okay.
Is it my turn? Or
Okay, OC, I'll come to you. I'll come to you. Keep
so let me take
eating.
my time.
Back to you, Chichi. Okay. When you look at the caliber of teams in Group D,
Yes.
we can say that Sudan and Guinea-Bissau are minnows. They are out of it. Our first game is against the Egyptian national team, the Pharaohs of Egypt, and it's a very important game. I think that game, for me, I would say that if we win that game, it's a morale booster for us. Do you think that going to this tournament and playing this match on the 11th of January, which is uh, basically on Tuesday next week, that the Super Eagles can get anything out of this game?
Of course, we don't know with Elston Guava right now. We don't know if we're back to the times where we have to take up our calculators and say, oh, if Nigeria beats this person or the other people beat this other person, then we might go forward. We don't know if that's because that's one of the things that Ro actually took us out from. If that was Egypt, it actually brought us out of that side. So we don't know if we're back to the permutation and combination era. So it's always good we start with the tough matches, which against Egypt is one of the tough matches, if not the most difficult match in that group. So I think meeting Egypt first is a very easy, it's quite a booster for us, and it will make us know our standing. It will make us know if we're actually ready for the tournament or not. It will make us know if we're actually going to get our calculators out or not. It will also tell us the forms in which these players are. It also show us if Austin Eguavo really have understood these players and if he can use the adequate tools that is on ground. Because yes, we might be missing Victor Osimhen, we might be missing Odion Igalo, we might be missing the likes of Emmanuel Dennis, but it doesn't mean we still do not have stars on ground. We have Ndidi on ground, we have Iheanacho on ground, we have Villarreal player Chukwueze on ground. So we're still star-studded, we're still formidable. We have Ahmed Musa also. So I think, yes, coming into the tournament with that difficult match and meeting the almighty Salah, who is so impossible to ignore, is a very good start to the tournament.
Okay. Back to you, OC.
Okay.
OC, I looked at the players that were called, and I looked at the number of midfielders in that team. I just think that in that department, I know Khalid talked about the striking department, but when you look at the number of midfielders, I think we are short of creative midfielders in that team. Um, won't this affect the team going to the tournament?
Well, creative midfielding role has been a very, very it has been we have been having drought in that regard. Having players that can be very creative and feed the forwards with vital goal scoring opportunities. Up after Osinokocha left the scene, there has been that vacuum that has never been filled up to date. At the point we thought Rabi Ibrahim was going to fill in that space, but it never happened. Even John Mikel Obi, I watched him at the Finland under 17. That was in 2001. Yeah, 2001. Himself and Bala Ezekiel. I thought, yeah, these guys are going to fill up the space. In fact, some people said Mikel was playing a dual role in that particular tournament. He was playing like a Kano one core and also like another Austin Jejo culture. But all that fizzled out. Then came Kelechi Iheanacho. It was a very good, complete number 10 player.
But Kelechi Iheanacho is a striker now, not a midfielder.
I'm coming.
I'm even
That's what
surprised.
I'm
I'm even surprised that a player like Iwobi is kept in the midfield department as well.
You understand how bad it has become when a winger. I see Iwobi as a winger, so I don't know what business he has in the middle of the park. So we'll be having, I don't know, because probably he has the relationship with the coach, so they feel maybe the gene is in them, so he can actually fill in that vacuum, which to me is blatant. I don't want to spoil, or almost wanted to say something that you won't like. So since then, it has been an issue. Then came Kelechi Nwakali, also at the under 17. These guys always perform well at the under 17 for my record. Kelechi Nwakali was doing well at the under 17. He did well. In fact, he scored some vital goals. He scored some free kicks too in that particular tournament. Then he went to Arsenal, and from there, his career started, regressing. Ever since then, Kelechi Nwakali has never been the same. Though most people that still believe in him, that still see that spark in him, want him to perform that feat, which he performed at the under 17 in United Arab Emirates. No, in Korea right now. I can't remember, in one of those Asian nations where they won the tournament. So they feel he should be able to do that. But him not being invited to that team, we not seeing him for years now. That alone should make us curious to know if that guy is still that Kelechi Nwakali we used to know. If he's that good, what is he doing in the Spanish Segunda, the second division?
Playing football, of course.
No, come on. Your best player should be at the top of the elite leagues, the top tier leagues, not in the second division. For a number 10, a classical number 10 that you want to, although he's not going to be given that jersey. Another makeshift, I want to use that word, makeshift midfielder, attacking midfielder in person of Joe Aribo will be given that job, whom also has not been doing that job well. So going to the tournament, coming to your question, I'm worried because we still don't have that solution to the creative department. At the beginning of when Austin Gavon was appointed by the NFF, people were saying, yeah, this is the time for Kelechi Iheanacho to be invited. But I want to tell you this, after listening to some of the interviews and also seeing Kelechi Iheanacho's body language, I'm not sure that guy is in his right mind. When I mean right mind, I don't mean mental wise, that is not okay. I mean that charisma. You need to have that confidence in you that yes, when I take to the pitch, I can do this, I can do that, I can split the passes like I'm supposed to do, like a Luka Modric. If you see Luka play, the way he plays the passes at his age shows you that this is a natural born number 10. It can't disappear from your body. No matter, even if you see Jojo Kocha today, look at some of the testimonial games he plays. You still see that in his body, like you see the body, you see it in his body. He knows how to play these passes. He knows how to connect with the number 9 talking about the number 9 in the 18-yard box of the opponent. So I play and hope that Kelechi Nwakali will still have this vigor, still have this strength to be able to feed our number 10 if we be given the opportunity also. Because like I was talking about the body language, I watched him and I was at the dinner. You all know that they have this click thing in the national team.
Yeah, it's always like that.
So the click he was sitting with at the dinner shows me that he's sitting with the second fiddle. I hope He's my friend. I hope he doesn't hear this.
Okay,
He's
okay,
the
okay.
one
We'll see.
with the second fiddle, or the probably
We'll
the
come back. We'll come back to
potential
that.
bench
We'll come back
warmers
to that.
in that team. So I don't know if he's going to be giving that role anyway.
Okay, okay, Khalid. How do you think the Super Eagles will shape up in terms of formation? How do you think the Super?
So
Because I don't really know the coaching pedigree of Austin Eguavoen. I know he took us to one of the AFCON and coached. Is it which team in Nigeria? One of the club side in Nigeria, but I don't really know how he sets up a team. But in terms of formation, how do you think the Super Eagles should set up, especially against the Egyptian side that we know we have in Musala and some other group crop of players in that team?
to be honest, Philip, I don't think even Austin Eguavon knows how he's going to set up at this particular point in time. Because let's not forget, as I said, I was at the last press conference. I raised the issue of the creative midfielder. I raised the issue of the striker, and the two responses Austin Eguavon gave me just made me very pessimistic about our chances moving forward. Regarding the midfielder, Austin Eguavon said that he had already found somebody to play that particular role. He mentioned a certain Frank Onyedika. He said that if Frank Onyedika is not available, then he doesn't want Frank Onyeka rather. He said that if me and Usain are in the same office, so that's why I looked to my right because he's
I
sitting right
know, I
beside
know.
me.
Go ahead.
So anyway, so he said that if Frank Onyeka will be unavailable, then he will just have to rely on other people. And now the big question is this: who are the other people? In fact, he went as far as saying that he did not want his formation to be too rigid, that in the absence of a creative midfielder, they will just have to circumvent that problem. In this big 2022, in the year of our football gods, how do you circumvent a problem as huge as lack of creativity in the middle of the park? Regarding the striker issue, he said that he's ready to employ a false nine. This shows you that this is a manager who is still not certain of what he wants to do. I expect the Super Eagles to still go with their usual 4-2-3-1 formation that Genetro used during the qualification phases and which he used most of the time. That's the formation I expect them to go in there with. Then maybe subsequently, Guavon might decide to employ a 4-4-2, but he cannot even employ a 4-4-2 because we do not have strikers. Is he going to say that he's going to play Taiwo Awoniyi and Kielichi in Nacho up front, or Henry Oekuru and Olayinka up front? We really do not know. And that is why I feel like it was such a huge risk to sack Genetro so close to the tournament and bring in Austin Eguavon. Again, I was one of the biggest advocates of Genetro leaving the national team. One of the biggest advocates. But I think that it was a case of too little, too late from the
I'm
end.
also one of, I'm also a fan of yours. I'm also an advocate as well. You know about it.
Hold on, I don't talk. I invest for
Okay. Thank you, Khalid. Back to John. John is back with us. John, you've been listening. Do you trust Austin Eguavon going into this tournament? We can't hear you, please.
I said I wouldn't say yes. Hello, are you hearing me now?
Go ahead, please.
Are you hearing me?
I can
Yes,
hear
can
you.
hear
I
you.
said I wouldn't say yes, neither would I say no entirely. Because my biggest problem with Eguavon in himself was that he was he was close to the team, yet he seems to be too far to the team. Because he was almost part of the technical team that was always going around with the home base team, was going around with the major. Still, he seems not to have any touch with the main team itself. Because if you look at what came up now, I understood it was almost even pressed to put in Emmanuel Dennis into the team that was going to the AFCON at last. And that was what led to the late call up for him. Either way, we are just going to this tournament with the hope of let's just hope the boys become do what they know how to do best. Not really because we have a very good team to play this tournament for me. Because if you look at the balance of the team, we have at the moment it's likely that Trustekong will lead that team out. And for me, Trustekong is the worst form of his life. I've been wondering how come what he has been doing with Watford because for like a month he has been very, very off. So the team is just disjointed. Let's just hope come Monday, perhaps if something good happens out of that match on Monday, it will spur them to bring out
Yeah.
their better
What do you
performance.
mean by
Otherwise, as a team, I
what
don't
do you mean
think
by
we are going
something
into
good?
this nation score.
What do you mean by something good? What is something
No,
good? What
something
is
good,
something that
Mike.
is good?
See, for every tournament, all it takes is a good start. once you go to a tournament and normally you are one of the dark horses, you just have a good start. It promotes you throughout the rest of the tournament. You just start to have that good vibe. But if at the tournament that you're going now, they are going. Most of them are just getting to meet the coach for the first time. Most of as in everything is just so haphazard. So if they can get a very good get a draw from Egypt, or perhaps get a lucky break against Egypt and win the match, it will give them, okay, if we've been able to pull off against Egypt, why not? We can go forward. Otherwise, I don't see much happening for the Super Eagles, most especially in that first match. Most especially in
Okay,
that first match.
okay. If you say so, uh, I think I don't have confidence in this team. For me, as a person, there's no confidence in the team. I just think that we are in trouble. But yeah, we are in trouble. We have to accept the fact that we are in trouble. But I don't know the magnitude of the trouble we are in. I don't know how to gauge that trouble. I don't know the barometer I can use to describe
That's
it.
why I said after Monday. Everything will
So
be after Monday.
And again,
I
but
just
conversely, but let me just add to what John, right?
yeah, go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes, let me just add to what John said. I feel like it's a really good thing that we're starting this tournament off with this fixture against Egypt
Yeah.
because
Toughest match.
that is
Yes.
our toughest match.
Yeah. Yes.
Even though we will not be able to understand the Super Eagles' identity after that game, whether they win, whether they lose, it's just good to have that one out of the way. So that we know that the
Yes.
subsequent games against Guinea and Sudan, while I'm not saying they're going to be the easiest fixture, we know that those are winnable matches for Nigeria. That should enable them to find their feet. That should enable them to maybe form some sort of identity before they face the tougher opponents in the quarterfinals, or even if miraculously they manage to get to the semifinals. So that's why I'm really happy we're going to be facing Egypt. But just like you, Philip, I'm incredibly pessimistic about our chances. I do not believe even the players believe that they are capable of winning the AFCON, because
Yes, of winning.
whenever we ask them, oh, what are your chances? What is the goal? What are the expectations? It's always a case of to win AFCON now. Because they believe that's what Nigerians want to hear, not because that is what they really believe. So it's really
And
unfortunate.
that was what they were criticizing Raw for always saying that we can't win it.
Okay, Chichi and Osi, are both of you optimistic or pessimistic about Super Eagles' chances in this tournament?
Ladies first.
Okay, I'm indifferent. I'm just wishing them that they actually go further than what Raw did. Because you cannot be taking a 9-man squad plus all the delegates you're taking there to go and have fun in Cameroon. And then you come back with something lesser than what Raw did. That means you should have just left Raw to just finish up what
What's going
he
to
No,
started.
I
happen?
Because
strongly disagree with that.
apparently, apparently this team they are taking, the squad they are taking actually were made by Raw. They're virtually Raw's men. Raw already sent in the list before he
We
was
were not
sacked.
paying Bro the hefty salary we're paying him for him to be winning yet another bronze medal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Okay,
No.
then we hope so. We hope you people go beyond the bronze medal this time around. What happens when you're best loser in your group?
If
Since
if
you're
Nigerians
not
if
even up to.
Nigerians were okay with Raw extending his contract just because he won a bronze medal, then Austin Eguavon should also be celebrated if he wins a bronze medal.
Okay, Kali, that is what
I
I'm
see.
saying. That Austin, that's what I'm saying. That Austin, Raw made up to the bronze medal stage, and I'm saying, I hope Nigeria gets better than that because we're definitely paying Austin too. I might not know the amount we're paying Austin and his 9-men family village
We are paying
squad
him.
that he's
We are not
taking
paying him
to.
in dollar. We are not paying him in dollars. So we are paying him
We're
in
not
naira.
paying
So
him even close to what we paid
I'm paying
Ganacho.
you in naira. Osi,
So we
your
are
take.
paying him for us to lose.
We are paying him for him to at least take us to third place, bronze medal. It's quite unfortunate that Yossi Becerra has been brought in, because if Austin Eguavon had won the bronze medal before they appointed Yossi Becerra, I would have been at the forefront of people saying that Austin Eguavon should be given the permanent job.
Okay,
Are you serious?
okay,
Are you serious, Khalid?
Yes, I
exactly.
am.
Okay.
Because the only reason why Nigerians were so patient with Ganacho, in spite of his ineptitude and his dull style of football, was because he's a white man. So if we are going to keep that standard for Genetro, what is good for the foreign goose is good for the Nigerian gander. So yes, we should also give Austin Eguavoen the benefit of the doubt.
Funny enough, Kali doesn't even see Austin Eguavoen going to the quarterfinals. That's even the worst part. Even him supporting Austin Eguavoen right now, he doesn't even see him getting to the quarterfinals. So why should
Don't
you tell
mind
me we
him.
have left?
If he did, will he be saying that Nigeria is not ready?
Exactly. He doesn't even see Austin Eguavoen getting to maybe the second stage.
Okay, my take is that first of all, let me start from where Khalid and Chichi dropped off. I think we are paying Guavoin for us to participate at the outcome.
Okay.
We are
Okay.
going to the outcome to participate, and any other thing we get will be added bonus. And also, I believe probably those guys are no more glassers that the sun they can carry house. Will be thinking or hoping or praying that what happened to the Cameroonians in 2015 when they won the AFCON?
17.
17, okay. So it took like 2 years after us before they won. So who won between us and them? I thought it was back to back.
Somebody else won it in 2015. I'll confirm that. I think it was Ivory Coast.
Okay, yeah.
That's Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast.
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, they won it.
Yeah, because
So that team was a ragtag team. The Chipomoting, the Joe Matip, even today, Joe Matip is not even in the squad of the Indomitable Lions. He opted out of that team. He went on self-exile from the Indomitable Lions. So I believe that is what is going to pan out. If we're going to win the Nations Cup, like some are beginning to think, that will be the only thing I'm going to see happening.
Why are we thinking that we're winning the Nations Cup?
I'm coming. Okay. Did you also see the Cameroon?
You can't go to the tournament and not wish to win it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Wait, then why are you going? Then you should stay back at home.
That's the mindset.
can't go and not wish to
I'm
win
using this yardstick.
So we didn't see the
gave the
Cameroonians winning in 2017.
Nobody gave them that edge of even qualifying beyond the semi-finals. Did you know Vincent Abubakar before then? Nobody knew that particular guy. Most of the players in that particular team were unknown until they won the Nations Cup. So I don't know, maybe that is the handbook the NFF is playing from, thinking probably they can do it. Like John also said, no one is going to a tournament just for them to just lose out and come back. Everybody has that mindset, I'm gonna win. The interviews we took on Sportsfy this morning, the guys there were optimistic that they were going to win. Although when I posed the question to Musa, sometimes they always come back to their senses. They are careful also about what they're saying. When I posed the question to Musa and even Eguavoen at the dinner head for them, Transcorp,
What did you say?
Eguavoen said, "Please don't ask me that question. I don't have an answer to it." Musa said, "I'm not a magician."
It shows that he's not confident of himself and the team.
Today they will give you hope that we're going to win. Tomorrow they will tell you something else. So like what Khalid said, they are neither here nor there. They don't have that confidence.
Yeah, can I come in?
They're in this. I'm coming. They're in disarray. That team is completely a ragtag team. I'm sorry to say that team is not. There's no cohesion in that team. It might interest you guys to know when did they gather together. In fact, the likes of Tyron Eboyi, Samuel Chukwueze joined a night before they left for Cameroon. Tyron is going to join them there. Joe Aribo, I think he also joined. Yeah. Yes, join them there. That's what I'm saying, So the team, imagine playing against a Cotton Sports team and you were only able to score 2 goals. If you listen to the interview from Guavoin, he was worried about the third half of that team, how they can slot in the goals. Although he later, said, putting the blame on fatigue and what have you. But we know that we don't have the right tools to use when we go against the the Egyptians. Remember, the Egyptians, they still have I don't want to say, they have a better edge than us because one, they just finished with the FIFA Arab Cup.
Yes.
As a whole team setup.
Yes.
If they didn't select players from that particular tournament, they will select at least 10 players that already know themselves. Which one
and already played together.
Yes, the gelling is there. The
gel together. The coach already knows their tactics. Yeah.
So before I round up, those are the nitty-gritty that most of us are not really looking into. Which John keeps saying Monday. Tuesday night, we know where we belong. Tuesday night, at the final whistle, we know where we belong. Tuesday night is
Okay.
the Australian Open. Probably someone like me will just go and watch the Aussie Open because I don't know how he's
Okay.
going to
Okay.
pan out for his Super
Okay.
Eagles.
That's okay. Okay. Guys, let me just take a short
You want to take a commercial?
no a short announcement regarding telling our viewers that they should subscribe to our YouTube channel and make the channel grow as well. Hopefully, they will be parts and parcel of the AFCON as well. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at Egypt as a team and let's um, let's gauge their chances in this AFCON and see how far they will go. Everybody expect them to win the last AFCON that they hosted on home soil. But at the end of the day, a very let me use the word, a very small South African side ditched them out of the tournament in the
That
quarterfinals.
didn't qualify for this tournament.
Exactly.
And the round of 16.
That were beaten by Sudan. Was it Sudan? They were pipped by Sudan in that group.
Everybody respond.
Yeah. So how do we think Egypt going to this tournament, the confidence level, the caliber of players that they have? I think they have Salah, they have El Nini, and they have some crop of other crop of players.
Trezeguet is there
Yes.
too. Remember?
Trezeguet playing their trade in the Premier League.
And
and
Mohammadi.
across. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we think that this Egyptian side can go a step further? Though they've won the tournament 7 times,
More
they
than
were
any
the
other
most
side in
successful
Africa.
side in the entire AFCON. But do we think this Egyptian side will take a step further all the way to the finals?
Okay. For me, I think no team is in.
Also, let me go to the
Okay.
ladies, please.
Okay.
Okay, because they hosted the last AFCON tournament and they left at the round of 16. They were beaten by South Africa, and that's like a big blow to them. So I think they are back
Yeah.
into this tournament as a wounded lion, and not forgetting the fact that they are being led by the most talked about Egyptian himself, talking about Mo Salah. So yeah, I see them going far in this tournament. I see them. Let's say that with the form they just used in the Arab Cup, they are definitely going far. They have Mustafa, they have El Neni, they are coming wounded, like coming to take their own pound of flesh. It's a pity that the first where they will be drawing their first blood, probably draw their first blood from will be from Nigeria.
From
So
Eagles.
so I think if there's going to be anybody who can stop them, if Nigeria can stop them from the first game on Tuesday night, like we are all anticipating, I think nobody else can stop them. Following the fact that yes, they are informed, they are integrated, they are formidable, they have the mold of the Salah. So yes, they definitely will go far in this tournament.
Okay. How about you, John?
Well, just as Chichi made mention, I would expect a very, 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 very good tournament from Egypt. But my problem with Egypt is that all of a sudden they are beginning to have these problems that we used to have in West Africa. You know, the fact that most of our players always fly in from Europe, we tend to have an identity crisis. This person is bringing his style of football from this league. This one is bringing his style of football from this league, and all of a sudden there's no blend. That was what worked for the Abu Trika era of Egypt. They were all Zamalek and Ali based, and they knew themselves, they knew their pattern. But right now, you are seeing an enemy will come now, want to do the passing. They were mostly home based. They were mostly,
yeah, but not entirely.
they were mostly home based, so they knew themselves. They knew how they play together. Even that then, it was even easy that even without having an international tournament, without having matches, they come together. They have camps. But right now, you see the enemy will come, want to play the Arsenal style. All Salah knows is give me the ball, let me run. Before you know, there will be an identity crisis. That was what actually killed them in that 2019 edition. And I'm looking at it that if they are not able to, and the fact that there was no time for this team cohesion ahead of this tournament, they might have that same problem. In the qualifiers for both the Cup of Nations and the World Cup, you could see that even countries you expect Egypt to stream roll, they will maybe win 2-1, win 1-0. They were also having the same problems the Eagles were having. So at the end, though everybody is downplaying the Eagles, I'm still seeing the same problem that is in the Eagles. I'm seeing it there. with them in the Egyptian national team. So if all things go well, that's why I said at the end of that first match, a lot of things will be made bare. So if everything goes well, we might be surprised. They will come out of that group and they will not be the most spectacular team. Once they get into that knockout stage where every decision, everything, every play counts, we might see them, they might easily get knocked out again by a very less fancy team. Thank you.
And I completely agree with John because Egypt had one of the easiest groups during the AFCON qualifying. They were with a team called they were with Togo, they were with Kenya, and they were with Comoros. Who is Comoros? And at the end of the day, Egypt only managed to secure 3 victories and 3 draws in that particular group. It shows you that
In
there's
that
some
group.
frailty there. There's a particular young man that many people have been talking about called Omar Moshash. I hope I'm getting his name correctly. And he is not even a regular. He's not even a regular for Wolfsburg. He has just scored 2 goals in 10 appearances. These are not numbers that anybody is going to be worried about. Even the likes of Trezeguet, the likes of Mohamed Elneny that were called in from the Portugal League, how fantastic have they been so far? It feels like
Exactly.
everybody is in most form to judge this, to
To
assess
judge
this
the entire
Egyptian national
team.
team, knowing fully well that one man cannot lead a team. When your name is Diego Maradona or Zinedine Zidane, you cannot lead just your team by your individual brilliance to a title. Even the Musala we're talking about has not been the best player for the Egyptian national team, whether we like it or not. He has been unable to replicate his top form for his national team. So
For
yes,
his
Egypt on
country.
paper might still look like the toughest team in this group, but the Super Eagles have a fair chance if they can just get their act right.
Okay. Um, okay. Going forward, let's talk about the other two teams in that group. Also, sorry, I don't want you to talk about the
It's good.
Egyptian side.
Osi says it long and long.
Yes. I don't want to talk about the Egyptian. Let's go. Let's fast forward to Sudan and Guinea-Bissau. Uh, yes, we know there are no minnows in football. Uh, we saw the Arab Cup and Sudan were trashed. Was it 4-0 by the Egyptian, the home-based Egyptian side? The entire team, and let me let you guys know that the entire Sudanese team are all home-based. It's either you are playing for Khartoum FC or you are playing for one Al Shabab thereabout. They are all home-based. Um, do we see them at least taking one of the losers' position, or do we see the Guinea-Bissau pimping them for that position?
So while I said that a lot of people are overestimating the Egyptian national team, I feel like a lot of people are underestimating the Sudanese national team because this is a
Yeah.
team that managed to defeat South Africa to qualify. In fact, when the groups were drawn, many people expected Ghana and South Africa to qualify, but
Qualify for it.
Sudan made sure that they were part of this nation's cup. Also, let's not forget that they even almost won their group. So Coach Austin Eguavon, prior to in that same press conference I spoke about, a reporter asked him if he had done his research on Sudan and Guinea. And the coach of the Super Eagles, the interim coach of the Super Eagles, said that not really. Those were his words. Not
Few
really.
days in the tournament.
That they were hoping to get more film on both Guinea and Sudan. That sort of response implies that the Super Eagles of Nigeria believe that the only team they need to do any research on is
Is
Egypt.
Egypt.
And if they carry that sort of mindset to the AFCON, they'll be in for a big shocker. Because as I said, Sudan is not a team that anybody should write off. Even Guinea-Bissau, whether we like it or not, there are really no minnows in African football anymore. We saw how the Super Eagles struggled against Cape Verde. Cape Verde are in the same group as Cameroon and Burkina Faso. And there are some people who believe that Cape Verde might even be the second team to qualify in that particular group, ahead of a certain Burkina Faso. So Sudan might look like minnows on paper. Yes, we know everything that's going wrong in their country, but we've seen how football can be a unifier. We saw it with Cote d'Ivoire a few years ago when they won the AFCON. The country was in turmoil, but the players knew what was at stake. The players knew that success at AFCON might be able to unite a fraught country. That is the same mindset the Sudanese players will be taking into this AFCON. They are ready to fight for every single point. And I think that they might just be one of the dark horses in that group.
How about you, Osi? How do you get the chances of these other two teams in the group?
Like always say, I don't want to in African football. Sudan can spring a surprise. Let me, I like combat sports very much. Everybody in combat sports has got a knockout power. You've not been eating in the wrong place. That's why you're not on the canvas. So likewise in football, anybody can be knocked out, anybody can be beaten at any point in time. So that is what Sudan, I'm sorry, Egypt, Nigeria, the two football house or football powerhouse in
Should
that group
watch
should
out
watch
for.
out for. Guinea-Bissau should not be a push. Should not be commonized. Should not be looked down on that. Come on, what did they have? They've got some. I'm trying to look up some of the players. They got one from the Scottish League also. But what they might have issues with is how these players will gel together over time. Because I can see some of them are just coming to the team after a long time out. So that is one aspect that might be, a fault of theirs. But notwithstanding, you don't look down on any of these teams. Sudan, they are a very good side also. They are a North African side, remember. And these North Africans, they have their antics. Their antics can take them further. Let's not forget what happened to Eimba. They have their on the pitch and off the pitch antics that might take them further. We should watch out for that. Then Guinea-Bissau also being part of most of the players that played in the Portuguese league, being a colony of Portugal back in the days. So we should watch out for these guys. They've got a knockout power, and by the time they hit one of us, talking about Nigeria and Egypt, we might see ourselves coming back home early. Like some people are saying, Ethiopians who are the first to get there, they might be the first to come back. You can also write it out. Nigeria might be the first to come back. Egypt might be the first to come back. So we should be careful with some of these other guys that are like banana peel. If you're not careful, you just see yourself on the floor, and you have no one to blame except yourself.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Let's look at something different. Like for everybody that's coming to the show, apart from John, I think for the rest of you guys, I want to ask what are our expectations going to this tournament in terms of officiating, in terms of the VAR, in terms of organization as well. What are our expectations? I will start with you, Khalid, please.
In terms of organization, it's the African Cup of Nations. I don't think there's ever been a reason for people to question the integrity of the tournament. There's no need for us to doubt that CAF will be on top of their game in terms of organization, even in terms of combating the COVID-19. I think CAF will be on top of their game. The officiating aspect, CAF too, I see no reason why I should doubt them. There's a reason why there's no any Nigerian referee there. I think there's just one assistant referee there. And it's because we know how easy it is to compromise the integrity of Nigerian referees due to no fault of theirs, due to just how terrible the Nigerian Professional Football League is, we cannot trust Nigerian referees to do the job. Many people on social media were quick to say, oh, not everybody can work under the conditions that Nigerian referees are working under, put them in a perfect place, and you see how they work. But the problem is, because of the antecedents, what is stopping them from going to a proper place and also perverts that particular elite. So I think CAF refusing to bring in a Nigerian referee also shows that they want this process to be as transparent as possible. We've already had so many European people saying that CAF is a little tournament, that CAF this, that the AFCON is
Just
this,
mention the
AFCON
person.
is that.
Mention the person's name. Not.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about Jurgen Klopp because I have no problem with Jurgen Klopp's
He
comments
just
because
mentioned the name.
I think Jurgen Klopp's comments were tongue in cheek. He did not mean to diminish.
Firstly, he
He did
has
not
no
mean to
business
diminish
using
AFCON
that
or
word.
anything.
undermine the
It
tournament.
was just a sarcastic comment, but I digress.
A friendly
At,
banner.
at the end of the day, I believe CAF will be on top of their game. I think they'll make sure that officiating is all right. I think they will not want to give those European countries any ammunition to use against them. So I'm not worried about the officiates. I'm not worried about the organization. What I am worried about is football. Because now there are no Europeans here. Among we know how AFCON can be worried at times. So hopefully the quality anyway, AFCON can be quite boring at times. The football is giddy-bo. I just hope that it is more entertaining this
Okay.
year, and that's all.
Okay. How about you, Chichi, please?
When Khalid was talking and he said that for CAF not to have included Nigerian as a referee, I don't know. Do you mean we were the ones that would have brought in corruption into the officiating
But,
ministry, or what
but
exactly
guys,
were you
Have
driving
you
at?
met Nigerians?
I know, but I'm not sure that's the reason. Well, maybe we just didn't qualify. Maybe we just didn't have enough, maybe
Why
certification
didn't you
for
qualify?
CAF to have picked us. You say because we're still trying to upgrade. Maybe the next tournament, but not because of maybe there would have been no transparency. Maybe because we bring in corruption into
It's
it.
because we have a
But
terrible
yes,
reputation, Chichi.
oh my God. But yes,
um,
like you
I,
said, it's CAF and it's Africa. I'm not sure we're going to be perfect. I'm not sure the callings are going to be perfect. I'm not sure every judgment is going to be fair or it's going to be consistent. But we just have to make do with what we are going to get, both even from the VAR and every other officiating activity.
okay, that's a good. For the very first time, we'll have a female at the helm of affairs as central referee in AFCON.
Exactly.
Let me,
We
let me
have a
talk about
female.
officiating
We have
aspect.
a female as central referee. From I think she's from Rwanda. You can imagine from Rwanda. We just have only one
Yeah, I
assistant
know that.
referee from Nigeria here, but I think it's a good one. Okay, guys, prediction Group A, please. Let's start Group A predictions, please.
Before I talk about prediction, let me say something about officiating. It's a pity most of you guys here are older than you people. So you people start watching the AFCON when I started watching the AFCON. So you need to give my credit. Stop shrugging your shoulder and not be your mate. The AFCON have been bitter experience for me as a Nigerian, but I believe that era is gone. One, we lost AFCON finals due to poor officiating. The 84 edition, after we won that of 80, we didn't win that of 82. The 84 edition, we lost it to Cameroon because what? Poor officiating. The 88 edition in Morocco, we lost it also due to poor officiating. Then years later, when we hosted with Ghana, Can 2009, it was called Can, not AFCON then. We hosted, and right there at the what's it called now? What is it? The National Stadium in Lagos. Poor officiating also cost us taking the AFCON. So I believe since Issa Hayatou has left the scene, most of these referees will not be subservient to the president of CAF. Now it's a South African. South Africa, they are not in the tournament. So even if they are, I think that era has gone because right now the spotlight is on Africa. You can't make mess of the little integrity that Africa referees are trying to build up. You will find yourself to blame. So I believe officiating going forward should be something to write home about, especially with the introduction of VAR right now from the beginning to the end. The last AFCON, it was towards the knockout stages that we how to get VAR. So going forward, the era of Issa Hayatou and some referees, being so timid to take decisions, hard decisions, is over. So going forward, we should have the very best of referees officiating at the AFCON. Then you were saying something about the prediction, right?
Yeah.
Guys, you said what?
You said we should make
Predictions.
predictions or what?
Okay, let's comment. I want us to take. No, this is not the last group. I think we still have Group F. We'll do that show tonight. Later tonight with somebody else. But I just want, being that I have this special panel. I call it a special panel. This is the first time I'm having about five or four persons on the stream. This is a special channel for me, and that's why I kept. If you go to the YouTube channel, there was a Group E preview we did yesterday. So I did the Group E before the Group D. So because I wanted this to be special. Okay, guys, let's take this. I want us to take the entire predictions for the AFCON group by group. So let's start with Group A. Group A is made up of Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, and let me see.
Can we have the graphics? Okay. Ethiopia. What is the strength of Ethiopia in African football?
And Ethiopia, yes, okay, and Ethiopia. Ethiopia, I also in that group. So, guys, can you guys make your predictions in that group? I know. I will start with you, Khalid.
So I think number one,
I expect Cameroon as the host to qualify and
to the
advance to
next
the next
stage.
stage.
And
And
Burkina
Burkina
Faso,
Faso,
even though in the past they were seen as minnows, the fact that they were able to give the Super Eagles a run for their money in 2013 and also secure a bronze medal in 2017 shows that they are a team to be respected in African football. So I expect Cameroon and Burkina Faso to advance and Cape Verde to be third in that particular group.
How about you, John,
Yes.
please? Okay, John, I think I've taken your prediction over the week, but I still want you to give us your prediction, please.
Well, better. Okay. Well,
We can't hear you, John. Can we hear John, please?
No, we cannot hear John.
Okay, over to you, OC, please. Your predictions, please.
I think I'll go with Khalid. Cameroon being the host, being a recent former champions, they'll be eager not to for the hands of their people, like we say in local parlance. They'll be eager to make sure they advance to the next stage. So Cameroon, Burkina Faso are the teams that I'm giving the edge. Ethiopia is no. This is not the long distance race, so I don't expect them to do that much. In that game. Cape Verde might come out as one of the best teams. So play them in the qualifiers. We know what that team has brought in the arsenal. So going forward, I want to see them take it as one of the best closers. I want to see them go for also. That team is the team that we want to see in the future. Probably even going to the World Cup. If a team like the Angolas can go to the World Cup at our expense, yeah, why not? The Cape Verdeans too. They should be able to also go for that. They are beginning to gel as a team. They are becoming a force in African football.
Nigeria so bad. Angola.
Okay, Chichi, please.
I remember that time.
Okay, for Group A also, I'll be going with Cameroon too as the host. Not necessarily because they are the host of the tournament, but because I think they can actually go far from that group. Which we might say Cape Verde might also pull a surprise they did with us. Let me say Cameroon and then Burkina Faso.
Okay, Group B, please. Khalid.
John is back. So
Okay, John, your prediction for Group A, please.
I said Cameroon, Cape Verde,
What?
Burkina first and come back first.
Okay, Cameroon, Cape Verde, and Burkina. Cameroon, Cape Verde, and Burkina Faso.
Yes. Yes. I expect Cape Verde to come second.
Okay, let's go back to Group B, please, quickly, please.
Khalid.
So for Group B, of course, to be honest, I wish and which other word can I use? If only the Super Eagles were in this group instead of Senegal, all of us would have just been here watching.
Of qualifying immediately. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. Anyway, in this group that is filled with so many minnows, the likes of Zimbabwe and Malawi, I see Senegal and Guinea qualifying for the next round.
Senegal and Guinea. Okay. I might agree with you. I will take that too. Senegal and Guinea to qualify. But I still don't trust that Guinean side, as to be frank. I still don't trust them. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Also, your Group B predictions, please.
Yes. I can.
Because a side that has got a navigator in the race. I remember also Zimbabwe is very touchy for them because they might be banned by FIFA, and we have Zambia taking their place. That is one group we should have a spotlight on.
Yeah, we talked about it.
They are yet to relate with FIFA about the ultimatum they were given. They were given 4th of January, and to date they are still stubborn. I used to think Nigerian NFF is stubborn, Minister of Sport is stubborn, but a side that is not afraid of the almighty FIFA, well, they should find themselves going home soon. I pity for the players that are eager to spot their stuff over there in Cameroon. So likely for me, my own pick, I definitely Senegal. They're a team that we expect to be at the finals again this year. They've got the tools. When you talk about the machinery, the right players, the right mentality, the right support,
Don't praise them. Don't praise them too much. Last time we did praise
yeah,
them
they've
too
got
much.
everything. They got one of the best
Tools that
keepers
they
in the
had,
whole world.
and they went to the finals and they
They have
messed
one of
up.
the best keeper, one of the best goalkeepers. That it might be very hard for that players to
Two of the
to
best.
pass.
Two of the best goalkeepers.
For me, I still
Two of
see
the best
that
goalkeepers.
only one keeper is the best there. Talk about Eduardo Mendy is the best keeper for me in Africa as it stands. So
I want to
that
see
alone should
Scali's
be a fair
face.
factor. No, of course, you know how he's going to feel.
No,
That
no, no.
alone should be a fair
Osi,
factor.
Osi,
Yeah,
Osi. There's a
yeah.
certain Yusuf Bono, certain Yusuf Bono
Onana is
for Bono that Morocco, also a very good goalkeeper. Yes,
Please,
a
what has
very
he
very
won? Has
good
he won the
goalkeeper.
Champions
I
League?
think I
Has he
think he
won
has
the Champions
conceded
League?
the least amount of goals in La Liga this season. Yusuf
La
Bono,
Liga.
if I'm not mistaken.
Which,
Yes,
which club? Which club, please?
Sevilla.
How old is he?
I
In his
can't say.
30s.
I can't tell you.
Has
I
he won
can't
the
say.
Champions League
Sevilla.
before? Please,
He's
let's
24.
close that page. He has not won the Champions
He's
League before.
24. He's
That's one
24.
yardstick now we use. So I think
Okay.
Senegal
About to.
navigate that.
About
Don't forget
to.
something. Politically, the Guinean players were won by their junta leader there, the guy that took over the presidency of that nation. That they should do well at the Nations Cup. And if they don't do well, they might be given the treatment that the Ivory Coast were given some years back, when we have Ibrahim Bakayoko playing for them. They didn't win and they were sent to the barracks when they returned for the Nations Cup. I can't remember the actual edition they attended. It shows you how powerful football is in West Africa. If you don't do well, I don't know, John, you are an OD like me. I don't know if you remember the particular edition that voters attended. Ibrahim Bakayoko used to be the standard player then. They were given the punishment, a very tough punishment, harsh punishment in the barracks then for not performing well. So the Guineans
No, I don't.
have that at the back of their minds also. They have to be careful. If they don't do well, they'll be sent to the barracks. If they like, they should travel out from. If they know what is good for them, they should leave the scene from Cameroon.
Showing how backward Africa is as a continent. These sort of things we're talking about. So this sort of
Punishment they want to be meting out against other people.
I think we should give that to the Super Eagles. We know our daddy here is a former junta.
Okay, Chichi, what's your take, please, of group?
Yeah, we hopefully, if one of these Northern African countries do not take the cup as usual, we are hoping Senegal do it again, like get to the finals again, like they did last tournament. So if there is even every possibility for me to call Senegal twice, I would have called them. Like they will be the ones to come out from that group unscathed. But we definitely have to pick two people. So it's going to be Senegal and Guinea. Though it's going to be like a very easy group for Senegal because I think Senegal is one of the teams that has everything: goalkeeping, the forward and the midfield all settled out.
Center back.
Yes, all settled out.
Kalidou Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, imagine you have Koulibaly. So if you talk about their back, we talk about Mendy in their goalkeeping, we talk about Koulibaly, we talk about Sadio Mane, who has also maybe last year. So I think Senegal has it all. They have. I might not know much about their coach, but I think when it comes to the team, the players themselves, like they have everything sorted out. So if we don't see them in the finals, we'll actually be wondering that what exactly happened.
Yep.
So they're definitely coming out from that group, and maybe Guinea will tag along.
Let's look at the group involving Morocco, please. What are our predictions, please?
That's definitely Morocco and Ghana's group. I think Gabon will attempt to do something about it, but I don't think they'll be able to. So I think Morocco and Ghana, definitely. Please, who else had heard of this Comoros country before today?
Comoros, you know it's a small island, actually.
It's an island, yeah.
I am.
But I want to tell you something.
It's an holiday destination. Yeah, it's an holiday destination.
Okay, so they're just going to Cameroon to chill. I'm listening to you, Philip.
I want to tell you something.
The holiday they go
Don't take them
for now.
Don't take them for granted because I am saying that they held Egypt to a goalless draw. I think was it at home or there. So please Don't take them for granted.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I'll, okay, we are in group. Okay, group D. I think we okay. What's our prediction for group D, please, guys? Nigeria, Egypt, Sudan, and
Egypt, Nigeria, Egypt. Whichever way.
Egypt, Nigeria, Nigeria. Egypt. Which one is coming first?
Nigeria.
anyone. Nigeria, Egypt, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau. What's our take on that?
Nigeria.
I think it's going to be Egypt before Nigeria. Actually,
Well,
I think
for
so.
me, I would expect Egypt to come top. Yes, I expect
Yeah.
Egypt to come top. Then Nigeria will follow.
For me, I think it's
Okay.
going to be Egypt first,
But
Sudan second.
I expect this group to
Khalid.
provide one of the best. Yes. Likewise
Even
me.
though not qualifying,
Likewise me.
are we
Egypt first, Nigeria second.
Khalid, are
Yeah.
we
But I will
qualifying
expect
as
this group
best
to.
loser?
So recently I just bought a new calculator because I think it's going to come in handy now that AFCON has started. So
Now you should praise. Now you should praise Raw because Raw doesn't. Raw make sure you did not even know how much they sell calculator.
You push this guy, this guy.
You never have. I didn't make you calculator.
Okay, but the defending champions Algeria.
The last time we used the calculator.
The defending champion Algeria. Do we think? I just want to ask this final question. Do we think that Algerians are coming to this tournament just to? I don't want to use the word. Do we take them seriously because they are not just.
you have to take them seriously.
As in, take them. If you don't, it's at your peril. Take them seriously. These people
They're the best
think
team in
just
Africa
you.
now.
Your mic is muted.
They are the
all the
best team in
teams that are
Africa.
going to be participating, of all the teams that will be participating in this tournament, there is no team that is as prepared as the Algeria national team.
Thank
They
you.
just won the Arab Cup. They just defeated Ghana by 3-0 in a friendly match.
Exactly.
Of all the teams, Philip, I do not think there is any team right now as prepared as Algeria. They might be the first African team in a very long time, barring when Egypt won 3 consecutive titles, to defend an AFCON title. Everybody should be very, very scared of
To retain it.
the national team.
So are we saying they have a more than 50-50 chance to retain the AFCON?
More than 50-50 chance. They are business minded, they are serious minded,
Certainly,
and they have
certainly.
all it takes. And one good thing about them is that they don't have individual players. Something akin to what John was trying to point out as it concerns the Egyptians. Most of their players are still they play in foreign leagues, most of them in the French league, but note that they have this cohesion in that team. They have this unity in that team, and I see them blazing. You know how 14 tires, or how they call these heavy duty vehicles? They will run through teams in that particular. The way Man City plays, that's what I'm expecting from this Algerian side in their group.
Okay.
I pity the Côte d'Ivoire team. I still see them as one of the dark horses.
No. I think that Côte d'Ivoire team,
dark horse.
that Ivorian team also is
Likewise.
star-studded.
I do.
have to go
I was saying that to Philip the other day. Yes.
Individualistic play will come to the fore when this team gets, or when the game gets
Exactly.
I'm not seeing cohesion in that team. See, the other ones, he's refusing to even come. I'm shocked he's coming to the Nations Cup. He has said he will not be traveling to the Ivory Coast because this time he goes there, he comes back sick. There's no unity in that team. Pepe of Arsenal or Pepe, is it Pepe?
Well, you have a certain striker in that team. Hold on, OC. You have a certain striker that has scored 9 goals in the Champions League. Don't you think that they have a chance? Don't you?
Actually,
but,
10.
I always
10.
say this. 10 goals in 10
Halle.
goals.
10.
Marvelous.
Highest goal scorer.
If that is the case, then we should expect flurry of goals from Mohamed Salah. He has he has the highest number of goals.
You have one of the best records in Premier League.
We should also know that it's always hard for us to see players translate their potential. Their form from the national team to the from the club side to the national team. So most times I always like seeing them in action. Let the playing do the talking. It's not enough for me and you to sit here and say, because he has scored 10 goals in the Champions League, that is going to translate to that in the AFCON. The AFCON is, like Khalid said, which sometimes I want to agree with him, it's gidigbo, book back, but it's quite different. You do anyhow, they whack you come out. You get that? So it's quite different from what is obtainable over there in Europe.
Okay. Okay. I'll also agree with you. It's not about individual players. It's about the entire team as well. How balanced your team is going to this tournament. How drilled that team is. But I just think that the Ivorian side, with the number caliber of players that they have, they can also make some impact in this in the Afcon. Okay, guys. We are coming towards the end of the show. I think we have 5 minutes, so I will have to take your takes, all of you, with regards to your final takes. I will start with OC, please.
Okay, I think the best team will win this, and let me predict this that a team that we don't expect might be the team that will win the Nations Cup. What's today's date? Today is 8th of January.
Yeah.
From where I'm sitting, I see a team springing surprise and winning this tournament. And that is my heart desire also. I don't want a team that will know that has won the Nations Cup over and over to win it. If the Senegalese are going to win it, fine. They've not won it before. They've been to the finals twice and they failed. Unfortunately, it's still the same coach that was a member of the team in 2002, I think, at the finals that failed and still failed again as a coach at the last edition in 2019. Is it going to be third time? Is it going to be third time failure for him? Well, I don't wish him that. If they can win, fine. But I also see an outsider team. When I mean outsider team, a team that we don't actually have on our radar. One of the dark horses, one of the minnows winning this tournament. Maybe Nigeria is one of them.
Oh my God.
Okay. How about you, Chichi? Your take, please. Your final take, please.
No, I would have loved you to let me hear what this year man wants to talk.
Okay, let's hear what Khalid will say.
The host, the moderator, has said
Okay, we still will give it to. I think it's still going to go to the north. I think these northern African countries, they have all it takes. They are even in their leagues, in their national leagues. We all know that they do excellently well. So and it reflects even in the national team. So I think one of them, if not, if Senegal do not grab it this time around, then definitely going back to the north. So either Algeria or Morocco, it's possible.
Okay, that's a good one. Khalid, finally you.
there have been 33 editions of the African Cup of Nations, and on 11 occasions,
Occasions, the host has gone on to win the tournament. With that in mind, I do not think Cameroon has what it takes to win this prestigious title. I think just like Chichi, I'm somewhat leaning towards one of the North African countries, Algeria to be precise, then maybe in Morocco. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, unfortunately, I'm very, very, very pessimistic about their chances. If any team from West Africa is going to win AFCON, it's most likely going to be Senegal because of how well balanced the team is and because just unfortunately, they lost in the finals during the last audition. This is a team that is on an upward trend, and I think this is the right time. It is ripe for them to win their first AFCON title.
Okay, guys. I want to say thank you. A big ups up to all of you. You made the shows also much exciting. Um, I think we'll have more of these. I also want to tell our viewers out there that the show still continues this evening with the last and final group review of Group F, where we'll look at the Tunisians and a host of others in that group. Big ups to all of you. Thank you so much. I also want to encourage that these links be shared among other persons going forward. We will have possibly we might have. I'm thinking we might have live updates of the matches and also a phone-in section. A phone-in section. We know how we do the phone-in section. We do a phone-in section to react to every match that have been played in the AFCON, maybe or on a daily basis, the entire of the AFCON. Maybe at the end of the day, at the end of the last match of the day, we'll have a phone-in section. Thank you so much, Khalid. Thank you so much, OC. Thank you so much, Chichi, and I'll see you guys like the Latin Americans said, adios or gracias.
Thank you. That's Spanish, by the way, but thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for viewing this program, and I'd like you to click on our subscribe button to help us promote this channel. Thank you so much. It's nice being here.